Welcome to our 2019-2020 Imago Dei ceremony, Trimester 3, and I'm just so excited to celebrate all these wonderful students. So I'm going to start with our first student, and then I'll just go down the row, and then you guys can chat too on the side here for YouTube if you'd like. So first student that I want to recognize is Ada Atkins, and what I chose for her is service. We all know that helping people is a really good thing. However, in Jesus's parable of the Good Samaritan, we learn that this man is not just doing good deeds, but what we should realize is that this man provides costly service and compassion. True service and kindness will cost us, and Ada is someone who depicts this idea and is not afraid to be kind, even if that affects her time or comfort. There have been countless times where Ada has wanted to help me or her fellow classmates in time of need, even if it takes up some of her recess time. In fact, if someone leaves their lunch behind or can't find their jacket, she's typically the first one to volunteer to help. She's very supportive and works extremely hard to make sure her classmates and I feel loved and served, all while having a big smile on her face. For Jesus, the work of God was not merely completing an assignment, but it was a joy for him. Like Jesus, Ada is someone who serves others and ultimately God with real joy. When she serves or is helping around the school, it is her delight. Thank you, Ada, for being a great example of not only serving, but making it your delight. I'm so proud of you, Ada. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, the next student that I would like to recognize is Elias Andros. And Elias, for you, I chose courage. And Jesus encouraged his disciples with these words in Matthew 28:20. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. True courage means believing that God is with us and for us, and that nothing can separate us from the love of God. This passage and definition of courage reminds me of Elias. He is confident and does not waver when hard things come his way. He is bold and not afraid to be himself. He is sure of what he believes, and he is consistent to living out what he says. He is also not afraid to be unique, creative, and stand out among his peers. The reason why I think he is so courageous is because he knows God is with him every step of the way. Elias, I'm very excited to see how God will continue to use you in a world that needs more bold and courageous leaders like yourself to draw them closer to understanding the gospel. I'm so proud of you. Let's give Elias Andros a round of applause. Okay, the next student I would love to recognize is Naya Chakbazov, and for her I chose Kara Joy. So here we go. Jesus was a joyful person, and he desired his followers to be joyful too. His main joy and delight was to do God's will. Real joy reveals the reality of the kingdom of God within us. In fact, we are commanded to be glad, rejoice, and shout for joy. Joy is a deliberate act of obedience in response to who Christ is and what he has done. And when we do so, what a difference joy can make. Likewise, what a difference Naya is making as she spreads joy throughout our school. I don't remember a day this year when Naya didn't have a smile on her face. She loves to learn, she is passionate about everything she does, and she is there for others when they need cheering up. She has a perfect peace and contentment about her, which makes it so easy to be around her. Because of the overwhelming joy that she possesses, she's ultimately glorifying God in all she does. Naya, I want you to know that joy is truly a gift from God. Joy is not a wishful add-on to the Christian life, but rather it's essential to knowing and worshiping God. True joy meets the needs of others. Naya, your joyfulness is contagious and it's making a difference in our school. I'm so proud of you. Let's give a round of applause for Naya. All right, the next student I would love to recognize is Eleanor Shunke. And for her, I also chose Kara Joy. And what's fun about these two is these girls are also friends. So how fun to have them hang out together. So here I'm going to start reading. Both Philippians 4:4 and 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18 commands us to rejoice always. In fact, 1 Thessalonians tells us that it's the will of God. There's no doubt about it that Eleanor knows how to rejoice always. She smiles every day and appreciates life. And the neat thing about Eleanor is not only is she joyful each day, but she also brings so much joy to others. In fact, she makes teaching even more fun for me because I can count on Eleanor to have a fun story to share about something she did on the weekend, or about a book she just read, or even a funny story or joke that she has creatively come up with. Eleanor also has the cutest and most contagious laugh I think I've ever heard. However, once she gets laughing, the rest of my class can't help but smile and laugh too. She's one of those people who are just happy to be alive. She gets so excited to be in relationship with anyone that walks in the room, but she's especially excited to be in relationship with Christ daily. Thank you, Eleanor, for being such a great example to all of us. Eleanor, not only is your joy a gift, but you are also a gift to all of us. I'm so proud of you. Let's give a round of applause for Eleanor. Okay, the next student I would love to recognize is Natalie. And for Natalie, I chose humility. Sometimes our culture tells us that someone who is humble really means that they are a dismal or fearful or even timid person. But what the Bible teaches us is very different. True humility makes you joyful, courageous, hardworking, and most importantly, it means you are a servant. Philippians 2 says, "Do nothing from rivalry or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." When I think of Natalie, I have noticed that she lives out this verse in its entirety. Natalie puts others before herself by serving them, including them, and loving them over and over again. She's willing to get down low so that others are lifted up. There have been countless times when Natalie has offered to help her neighbors pack up their things, help them clean, and offered to help others, even if that puts her work on hold. Just like Jesus humbled himself and took the form of a servant, Natalie looks to the needs of others, rather seeking to be served, which is what being a Christian is all about. I'm so proud of you, Natalie. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, the next student I would love to recognize is Riley Shaw. And for Riley, I chose perseverance. Everyone in life is always trying to discover new keys to success, and research shows that one of those characteristics that will make us successful is grit. You cannot find the word grit in the Bible, but you will find words like endurance, steadfastness, and perseverance. What these terms simply mean are the determination to keep moving toward your desired goal despite challenges or internal weariness. Riley is one of the most dedicated, determined, and persistent people I know. He has so much stamina and drive, which is so hard to find in people today. The even more amazing thing about Riley is not only is he determined and dedicated in his schoolwork, but he's also determined to make sure others around him are loved and cared for. If someone is sad or hurt, he makes it his goal to make sure they are okay. In 1 Corinthians 15:58, it says, "So then, my dear brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." Riley, you are steadfast and immovable. I hope your wonderful gift of perseverance gives you the passion to do God's work, and that when you do work hard, you remember that your hard work is not in vain. In Luke 21:19, it says, "By your endurance, you will gain your lives." I'm excited to see you continue to endure throughout life, because it truly is a gift, and you will gain your life because of your grit. I'm so proud of you, Riley. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay, the next student I would love to recognize is Bella. And for Bella, I also chose Cara Joy. And I kind of want to talk about her creativeness too, because I think as we are creative, that shows the joy and how God has made us. So in the very first verse of the Bible, God introduces himself as creator. In fact, the very reason we are here today is because of Genesis 1:27, which reads, God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. God is an amazing artist who has uniquely gifted and created Bella to also create things. She has the ability to make everything look good. In fact, I remember giving the students an assignment the very first week of school, and Bella blew me away. The best part of watching her create her special project was that she had so much joy on her face while creating something beautiful. It was incredible, so much so it will be so neat to see where God takes Bella's gift to be used for the rest of the world. She consistently shows dedication and determination in all her work, while also being very detail-oriented and original. Bella, God is using you to make him look great, and I'm so proud of you. Your amazing abilities do not go unnoticed, and we are all excited to see how God will continue to use your special gifting. In Psalm 16:11, it reads, You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore. Bella, this is my prayer for you, that the source of your joy would come from the presence of God in your life. There is no greater joy than knowing and loving Christ. Keep pursuing him and rejoicing always. I'm so proud of you, Bella. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, the next student I would like to recognize is Mia Perez, and for her, I chose faithfulness. We all have had friends in our lives, but finding one that stands the test of time, that's hard. True friendship is rare. We've probably all encountered people who stick around only when it's convenient or when they're getting what they want out of the relationship. Nevertheless, Proverbs 17:17 says, a friend loves at all times. True friends choose to focus on what they can give to each other, rather than on what they might get. Mia is the type of friend who loves at all times. She's a great example of a true biblical friend who is faithful to those around her no matter what. I've seen her be gentle, kind, and loving to everyone around her. She even takes the time to make sure her friends are doing well and to stand up for them when things get tough. Some of my favorite moments of being Mia's teacher this year was watching her greet her friends each morning with a big smile on her face and a big hug to welcome them. The ultimate example of unconditional love is Jesus Christ, who did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. He voluntarily laid down his life for the benefit of unworthy mankind. If we are to have biblical friendships, we must do the same. We must love others self-sacrificially, whether or not it's deserved, and without expecting anything in return. Mia, you have done that over and over again this year. Thank you for being such a faithful friend to your classmates and to me. I'm so proud of you. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, the next student I would like to recognize, and this is the last one, is Alessandra Vasquez. And for her, I chose compassion. When I read Romans 12:15, I think of Alessandra. Romans 12:15 says, to rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. Sharing another's pain isn't something people typically want to do, but the first half of this verse can just be just as unnatural. Many times in our dog-eat-dog world, people find themselves competing with friends, seeking to envy if a companion one-ups them. In contrast, godly friends rejoice in each other's achievements, successes, blessings, and will even be there for you when you fail or are going through a tough time. Godly friends find true happiness in each other's happiness, always cheering the other on to do his or her very best. Alessandra not only cheers on her classmates, but also is there for them when they need a lending hand or a listening ear. She truly radiates compassion each and every day at our school. I've seen her comfort those who are sad and rejoice with those who are excited. She always wants the best for those around her, even if that means she might have to give up her time or energy. She's an absolute joy to have in my class. Alessandra, your empathy and compassion is a gift from God that we don't often see in this world today. He's using you to make a difference at our school. I'm so proud of you, Alessandra. Let's give her a round of applause. Well, that's the end of our third trimester Imago Dei ceremony. Students, I'm so proud of you. It's been so fun being your teacher, and I'm so excited to see how God will continue to use your special gifting. Take care, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.